Alright, so back to the present for the last mark. Yeah, we don't have much time.
Not a moment too soon.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
And unfortunately, Dosan is killed.
At least I got to told you.
And we need to have a slow walking for him to get into the boreal.
Oh, so even this game does a slow walking section.
we had it also in the previous parts, and we're gonna have one also in the final level. Like I mentioned when it happened the first time, I get it, game, but I'm also just pressing one key on the keyboard. This is this is not immersive. Just make it automated.
Stuff like this could legit just be a cutscene.
Also, what are you talking about, Tio? Of course this is immersive. It feels like you're just going in one direction and you know why you're doing it.
Alright, thankfully at least it doesn't last long. So back to proper business. Thanks to the last mark, we now our tattoo is fully evolved and we have an extra ability, the Mark of Serenity. This is translated to a completely new different style, where in this case it gives us this, but as a result we forgo other items. Unfortunately, for this level, there is an extra condition that you have to sacrifice all of your tools, including your sword, meaning that you will have to spend most of this level, you know, having to avoid enemies instead of actually confronting them.
Can you feel the effects of the final mark? Nobody has borne it for years. But the legends say that you'll move so quickly, it'll seem
again, however, the Mark of Serenity will allow you to, you know, definitely bypass these obstacles.
Well, we still haven't gone crazy despite what the legends say.
Thankfully. Also, no idea what this crate is doing for, because it really is not hiding anything, and I don't really need it to climb anything else, so...
You know, it'd be an interesting twist... You know, it'd be an interesting twist if it turns out that our boss is actually the guy with the original tattoo, but the tattoo made him immortal and he's been hiding his identity this whole time.
That would be interesting, but no, I can tell they don't do that.
Has there ever been a story
in which a legend... just showcase it. There you go, you have to select the Mark of Serenity, then point to the location, and bump! You do a Nightcrawler, basically. There is a recharge, but it's manageable. Go on, Waves.
Has there ever been a story in which a legend was made up by the villain to get the hero killed, or at the very least inconvenienced?
Oh,
I'm pretty sure there's been a few.
Mystic Quest.
I'm pretty sure there's been a few, yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of any one specifically right now. But yes, anyway, these are your new enemy types, the Stalkers. Think of them as the, what they're called, the enemy units from Metroid Dread. Instead of being regular enemy, they patrol in pursuit different areas. They have a range of detection, that green thing, you know, and they cannot be conventionally killed. You know, even if you had your weapons, you will not be able to properly kill them. So it's best, whenever you encounter them, just avoid them. So they basically throw out the last curveball that is thrown at you. Your only major salvation is hiding behind the pots. They cannot attack you while there.
They're ninjas like us, but unfortunately they have protective gear, which I guess protects them against even the powers of the tattoo.
It's more of a case of they have better perception. Which, to be fair, thanks to current technology, it's almost like a twisted mockery of your tattoo.
It's interesting, since the guy did seem to suggest that, you know, the ways of the tattoo are too old now. It's time to evolve.
Well, remember, there's also the fact that the... Hold on.
But I cannot surrender. This era does not belong to us, but we can take from it. I have seen today's soldiers and the weapons they use. With these tools, we could adapt, and we could survive.
Yeah, about that.
Well, yeah, that's basically was the entire thought process. The Grandmaster of the clan made the entire excuse of instigating Karajan to attack us, so that we could have the mission of revenge, so that we could steal the technology in order to, create the Lin Kuei, basically.
So, all in all, I guess if we were with the program, that wouldn't make him a bad guy, now would it?
Well, it's a it's a gray moral situation. It still used us, used our protagonist, and there's still a fact that our protagonist is under the influence of the mark anyway. So,
And I guess there is also the
we still
fact...
are a sacrifice, so it's kind of a dick move.
And I guess there is that caveat that Karajan was technically innocent of what we killed him for.
It was still a dick, so again, it's not too big of a loss.
Gray morality, yeah, but
still, yes, it was technically something that he was not, guilty of.
Mind you, he really was a dick to the point where he would have killed us anyway if he had the chance, probably.
Alright, now
that being said, though, what's our Grandmaster's master plan? World domination now that the ninjas are all buffed out?
Survival, basically. Remember, they're basically a clan of ninjas, so I guess it's a case of, survival and offering themselves to the best, bidder.
I'm guessing the idea is basically our two ninjas that, we're with here, they're truly about the honor, so obviously what the Grandmaster is doing is a big no-no, and that's what puts him into confrontation with us.
Yeah, basically.
Which makes me wonder if he specifically gave the mark to our protagonist because he knew that he would be too honor-bound to follow through with this, so basically he would just have him kill himself.
Yeah, so again, that's the entire point. Do the mission and then kill yourself nobody, so we can get squeaky clean away from that.
I guess that just leads to the question of how he was planning to deal with the girl, essentially, like...
Well, we will see in the next part if we manage to find out some answers to that.
Okay, then. Be funny if we're not yet in endgame, but this is actually just another one because rule of three, there's got to be a big boss behind the Grandmaster.
No, but again, you'll be able to see the next part properly. For the time being, we just need to escape the fortress. As you can see, one of my side objectives is to kill some of the enemies using traps, which is, this sequence is actually very easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Let me see if there is, if I recall correctly, there is another, packet of explosive arrow right above those snipers, so boom, there you go.
So even the ninjas are using snipers now.
Well, these are still part of the bandits, the Stalkers are the ninja units sent.
So basically we're dealing with two different factions.
Yes, basically.
And these poor bandits are none the wiser.
No. Bind.
Whoops! Don't let him get away. You saw nothing!
After all, the side objective here was to not take any damage instead of not being detected, so, mission accomplished nonetheless.
The body has been discovered.
In Lego City, yes. See if I can manage to get above. There we go. Hopefully should be more smooth sailing from here, and there are more Stalkers.
Oh.
Whoops. I wonder if eventually we'll get a power-up that can help us counteract them more.
Well, if my entire gear was back here, some of the attack items, like the carnivorous bugs or the Hiso darts that, that cause, madness, those can actually hurt them properly.
It would... Sorry.
No, go on.
It would be an interesting mechanic if, like, with you breaking the lights, that the ninjas would actually get wise to it, because, hey, they're ninjas themselves, so they should know how this goes.
Well, the Stalkers, again, are your curveball, because, they have a more irregular pattern. They travel around in different things and different parts of the buildings. So they never really stay in just one place, and they never travel alone. So that's also why you have to watch out for them.
And conventional attacks apparently do jack diddles against them.
Next challenge. We need to actually make sure to drop the packets of explosives on top of the pressure plates in order to unlock the path. And also use the Mark of Serenity is actually pivotal for this. It's not technically the most difficult of the challenges, but it is one of the longest that you actually had to endure, because there's a couple of more stuff to do. Basically, I need to get up the box before it actually raises again. There we go. I'll get back to that swinging blade later. There you go, one down. Okay, for this next section, again, the Mark of Serenity is pivotal because there are kunais that are actually, constantly being thrown at you. So you have to watch out. And one thing that the Mark of Serenity does is that if you actually aim it at one of the surfaces you can hide behind, you will automatically, take cover behind that. So there is that too. Alright, second down. What? Pedro?
Yes?
Oh, I heard you laughing. Sorry.
Was that a funny thought?
Well, I mean, there are intense situations where you're all on your own in the dark. So sometimes people's reaction is to have a little giggle.
Well, Dweebs, I can tell you that the Alone in the Dark games are not that much of a laughing matter, one way or another.
Yeah.
There you go, there's the last one. So now it's just a matter of dropping the packets.
Shame about the remake.
Well, no, that one is, compared to the 2008 reboot, it's actually much better. So.
Well, to be fair, a sack of rocks compared to the 2008 version is
true,
better.
but I might as well just, put the dots on the where it needs.
Fair enough. Like, did you overall enjoy the latest remake?
It seems fine enough, it's still taking the franchise in a different direction, more akin to Resident Evil 4, but I've seen far worse, and as someone who's actually played the... Oh, there you go, there's the scroll that tells about the gambit on our character, is the sacrificial lamb, but as someone who has actually played the 2008 version, which on the PS3 is called Inferno, I think, because it slightly adds content, it's a mess, The only enjoyable part is the soundtrack, as I mentioned in the past.
I do like the character designs for the main characters in the remake,
yes, but... Edward Carby himself looks too much of a homeless bomber guy. I get it of not trying to make him look like, the, posh guy that was in the original games, but it feels like they tried to make it look a bit too much like Max Payne, but went on to the extreme.
To be fair, I felt more like they were going for the hard-boiled detective look for him. He's got, like, the aftershave, the shirt, the tie, and the hat, of course.
Well, no, that is the more recent version, Joe. I talk about the 2008 game.
Oh,
yeah.
I was talking about the most recent remake.
No.
Okay, yeah, no, you're absolutely right. He looks like a homeless bum in that, and it sucks. And yet they have the goal to try and pretend that he's the same Edward from the original Alone in the Dark.
must.
Anyway, our partner is not
Go back to
particularly
your
amazed,
master
amused
and kill
by
him.
the new units. So that's one thing we're gonna have to confront in the next part, technically.
We're just gonna have a little chat with our old master. One that'll end in his death.
Oh, absolutely. Anyway, tune in the next part for the epic conclusion as we reach back our old fortress and see what happens. See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.